Hey team, Jag here. Hope you guys doing really well. Let's get started. Today is Million Dollar Agency Secrets. We're going to talk about how you can get 20 to 30 appointment booked every month without the paid traffic, right? So this is one of the biggest trainings today. So let's get into it very quickly. Look, this training is for you if you're a marketer or a business owner. You want to create a predictable business. You want to differentiate yourself from your competition trying to compete for the same client in the marketplace, and you want to offer a unique service to your clients rather than a standard marketing services which most of the people are offering at the moment. Because if you look at the agency today, right, most people are offering Facebook marketing, Google SEOs, and all these services which are standard. So this training is for you if you're looking to learn a unique service which you can offer to your clients. So what will this method do for you? Look, one of the biggest thing is you're going to start seeing the results within 7 days, right? So there is no ad copies to learn. There is no funnels to build. All that is put it on side. You're going to start seeing the results within 7 days. It's a low entry offer for your clients, meaning that the clients don't have to pay you and also Facebook and Google and other platforms to get the results, right? So one of the biggest problem in our agency has been, people are happy to pay you because you're doing the work. They kind of don't want to pay Facebook and Google or other big platforms to get clients or build their brands, right? So this is a very low entry offer for your clients, and it creates a point of difference. Like, one of the biggest thing which I love it and we like it, especially in our industry, is because everybody's offering the similar service. You're probably going to be one of the unique people who's going to be offering this as a service and can charge more, basically. And this could be one of your entry level service where people pay you a couple of $1,000s a month to get started, and then after that you can actually sell them the paid advertising. Because remember this, when client don't get results, they won't opt in for the next level service, right? This is just given. When people don't opt in for your services, meaning that they come to you to do certain things and you just can't give them the results, they won't get to the next level, which is pretty normal, right? They want to make sure that they get results. So the method I'm going to talk to you about today is to get results very quickly for the people, so that when they get to the next level, they opt in with you for your next services, whether it's a paid advertising, building funnels, and all the other bits, right? One of the best part of this strategy, about 90% you can automate it, meaning that you can pull yourself out of the business, right? So this is very quickly, because from day one, most of the work is done by somebody else, right? So this is not something you want to do it. This is one of the biggest thing which I talk about it all the time. Don't become the doer in the business. Don't become one of those people who get hired for their keyboard skills and get hired for your thinking, get hired for your strategy. Make sure that people pay you for your mindset, for your thinking, not for your Facebook ad skills, right? Also, the other one is there is no paid ads, right? So people don't have to pay you, and also the other providers for this. So why paid ads or paid marketing may be not right for you? It's just because it's very expensive, right? So meaning that you have to have a big budget. You have to have minimum $3,000 plus a month to get something out of that, right? So the other one is a skill set. It takes a longer period of time, right? So if you're getting started, if you've already been there for the last couple of years, you probably realized is people been doing Facebook marketing for a long time. People been doing SOEs for a long, long time. And it's really hard to compete with them because they work for big companies. There is a big corporates out there who provide the similar service. So you just can't compete with those people because they have a better skill set and they have a better people in there doing the work full time, right? It's too crowded. Whoever comes into this marketing world for the first time, um, they get started with Facebook marketing because it's simple, it's easy. Even if people are not paying to the marketers, they just can do it themselves. Facebook made it so easy. It's like a foolproof. They can press the button, can boost their post. And this is the same thing, right? So the other thing is you got to rely on the algorithm. I don't know if you have noticed it. When your ad keep working for a week, and it kind of stops working after a week and you don't know what's going on, mean that the algorithm is just started playing off. So what most people do is they just recreate the same ad and submit it again. So meaning that you have to rely on the algorithm, meaning that algorithm need to work in your favor. So it doesn't matter how good you are, doesn't matter how good your ad copy is, doesn't matter how good your creatives are or your image copy is. If your algorithm is not working in your favor, nothing's going to work, right? Doesn't matter who it is, right? So it doesn't matter what it is. So for example, of the paid ads, let's look at it very quickly. If you're spending about $1,500 a month, right? Just an example, spending $1,500 a month, you get about 100 leads. The cost per lead is about $15 an average. And call conversion rate is 5%, meaning that you speak to all of the 100 people, somebody just pick up a phone and call them and the appointment set or speak to them. And you have 5 people or 5% of the people ready to listen to your pitch, meaning that they are the 5 people who said, hey, I'm happy and I'm ready to listen. So the cost per call booked is $300, right? $1,500 budget, cost per call booked is about $300. When you actually, the time comes, only 3 people show up, right? You'll realize that not everybody is going to show up who's going to say they're going to be coming. Somebody's cat might get sick, or the tire might get punctured, or something probably have happened, and they won't pick up the phone, they won't reply to the SMSs, nothing's going to happen, and you have 3 people show up. So the cost per show up now is $500. So if you have really good salespeople in your team and you have experienced converting people from a stranger to your client, then the close rate is about 40%, right? So meaning that you ended up closing people. So the sale at the end of the day is about 1 sale. So basically you spent about $1,500 to get so many leads, and you have 3 meetings booked and 3 people show up, basically, where you pitch them your offer and say, hey, this is what we do and this is how we help people. And at the end of the day, 1 person ended up buying from you, right? So I don't know if you one of those people, if your services start at 997, meaning that it's around $1,000, and you're starting from that, and client acquisition cost is anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500, then this probably not going to work for you, right? So if your budget is anywhere less than $3,000, paid ad is not for you. Paid ads are not for you. Why? Because it's just not going to work. There is so many people out there happy to pay. I don't know if you understand the way paid marketing work. Everybody's auctioning on stuff, right? So your ad is getting competed with all the other 10,000 people out there trying to compete for the same market, right? This is what's happening. So they are willing to pay more for the same audience than you are, right? So that's why the ad cost is going up high, and there's a lot of competition. Ad stops working after a certain period of time, right? That's why I want to share this with you, called email cold outreach method. This is the email cold outreach method, is meaning that sending personalized emails to your target market. So the keyword here is personalized email. So we're not sending bulk emails to people. We're not sending spam emails to people. We're sending personalized emails, because remember this, every email gets personalized. It's not a random email which goes to everybody. It's a personalized email. So as of today, we are booking 6 meetings with our target market for every 100 emails we send out. At the moment, right? We're booking 6 meetings for every 100 emails we send out. So let's look at the numbers, how the numbers look like, right? So you get about 100 contacts built, 100 list built is about $30, right? The $30 cost you. The virtual assistant cost, project manager cost, a copywriter cost, the person who writes everything, is about $70. So campaign open rate is 60%. The reason I can say it's a 60% because we use a very specific tool, make sure that every email we send out lands in your target market's inbox, not in their promotional folder, in your inbox, in their inbox. So if you send out bulk email using any of those tools, whether it's ActiveCampaign, whether it's ConvertKit, whether it's a HubSpot, whenever you send out a bulk emails, every email goes into a different folder. If it's a junk, they go in a junk. Otherwise, in Google, they go in a promotions folder. That's why most people don't even look at the promotion folder. But we want to make sure that our email lands in people's inbox so that people they can open up. So that's why email open rate is 60%. We get about 10% positive response. What it means is 90% of the people are going to say no, or they're not going to reply. So 10% of the people, we get positive response. Out of that, we get 6 meetings booked, meaning that the only reason we send out the emails with one goal. Right? There is no form to download. There is no book to sell. We only send out email with the promotion offer saying, hey, this is what we do. This is who we serve. These are results we got. And if you're interested, let's work together, right? So we get 6 meetings booked. The show up rate is 5 people. The show up rate is 5. One person doesn't come. So the cost per show is $20 now, not $500, right? So the close rate, if it's same 40%, you ended up closing 2 people, right? So we spent $100 and we closed 2 people. So the cost is $100. The sale is 2 people, right? So if you're selling anything $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000, now they started to make sense. Now you make a bit of profit, right? It's no brainer now. If I look at it, email cold outreach method is $100, give you 2 clients. Paid ads, $1,500 will give you only 1 client, right? So probably 1 client if you're lucky enough. So here's an example, right? Why email? Why email? So email is still the number 1 method of business communication. So if you come from a corporate background, you probably know that. Doesn't matter what we do, whether you do a chat, whether you send Slack messages, we still send out emails after the message. Why? Because that's what we do. We say, hey, yeah, I've spoken to you over the phone. Yes, I like the idea. Yes, can you please send me an email to confirm this? We all do that, right? It's in every corporates that every email seems to be the way is that if I want to confirm something, I need to send by email. That's the way the mindset works. So that's the way things are, right? So every communication happens by email. People are still used to looking at emails. This is a preferred method. 74% of people online check their emails, right? 60% of work email get checked more than an hour a day, right? So we check emails. Everybody wakes up in the morning, check their work emails. If you worked in a corporate, you probably know that by now. That's what people do, right? That's why people still, or the email still works, and it's the best method to reach and speak to your target market because you're speaking to them directly, right? So traditional lead generation method or paid ads method, you have to have a big budget, right? You have to have anything beyond $3,000. So if you starting out and have less than $3,000 budget, please don't go Facebook ads or any other ads because things just not going to work, right? It's just gambling with your money. So within Facebook ads or any other ads, when you do a paid ads, you cannot target very specific, like meaning that your ad copy is very generic. So for example, if you want to work with coaches and consultants or IT contractors or plumbers or dentists, you send out a generic ad copy, right? With the generic creative stuff, right? So it's not very specific. It's generic to the target market. The other one is lead may not get qualified. Like, so when you send out, you get leads coming through, somebody download your PDF, somebody download your ebook. They're not qualified. They might just want to look at it, right? So troubleshooting takes a long time. So for example, if your ad's not working, ad's not working, where do you start? You start looking at the ad copy, you start looking at the image, you start looking at your videos, you start looking at your landing page, you start looking at your PDFs or files. At the end of the day, that everything might be right, but the problem is with the algorithm. So algorithm is not in your favor. What would you do, right? It's really hard to say where is the problem. So you can't pinpoint and say, hey, there is a problem, because there is so many different things in the middle. Landing page is there, ad copy is there, so many creatives there. There is a big problem, right? So There's a lot of waste of time in this, meaning that there is a lot of effort you have to do. You learn your creatives, you learn your ad copies, you learn Facebook ads, you learn to build the landing page, you learn to build all that sort of stuff together. And then at the end, when you put an ad together, you get a low quality of people. Like, some of them just don't want it. They're just there for the sake of doing it. And most of the time, and I don't know if you realize it, probably starting bit, 50% of the time your PDFs gets downloaded by the competition, because that's what they do. They see that, they say, hey, you're doing it, let's download this. So when you speak to them, they are pretty much trying to hack your funnel. They're doing the funnel hacking. I don't know if you have experienced it. Most of the time you get excited that you got leads coming through, but they are just somebody trying to find what you're trying to do, right? So that's why the other big problem with any agency today, or agency owner, if you're running a marketing company, is doing a client retention. So the client retention is one of the biggest problem. We faced it as well. Similar problem that every 3 months, because our starting bit when we started work with people, we have 3-month initial contract, was really hard for us to keep the people, right? Really, really hard. Why? Because you already set up the ads, you already written the ad copy, you already done the creative, you already done everything in their ad account, everything has been done in their ad account, right? And the ads are running. So they come back after 3 months saying, why I'm paying you? What's the reason? If the reason is you're just going to duplicate the ad after a couple of weeks, I can press the button to duplicate the ad. Why I need you for this, right? So that's why it's really hard to justify it. Really hard to justify it, because why do I need you? So that's why email outreach method works really well, because it's a very small budget. You don't need a big budget. It's about $100. Start with $100, and everybody, you outsource the work. You're not doing anything yourself. You're not learning Facebook ads. You're not learning new things to do. Somebody else doing the work, right? You get quick results very quickly. You start seeing the results within a week or 2 weeks. If you're offering this service to your clients going to be happy. Why? Because they start to see the results. You are very specific with the target market. Say, for example, if I want to work with CEO or the CMO of a very specific company, I can email them directly, right? So it gets a very specific targeting, not just a very wide targeting, very specific targeting. It's a really easy to optimize. There's only 4 things you need to look at it. Hey, what's my open rate look like? Hey, what's my response rate look like? What's my appointment booking rate look like? Based on wherever the problem is, if you're not getting the right results, you can optimize it. So if you're not getting the email opened up, or meaning that if your email open rate is 10%, meaning that there is something is going on, we can fix that, right? Email anything beyond or less than 60%, we can fix that. If somebody is reading your email but not responding, we can fix that, right? So very, very quickly, you can look at it based on the tool, what do we have, that how things are. So it's really easy to optimize. The other one is we don't get leads, we get bookings. It's a big difference, right? If you working with anybody, people usually get leads. They're used to getting leads. They're not used to getting bookings confirmed in their calendar. So very specifically with email cold outreach method, you get bookings like in your calendar, not leads. Very, very specifically, it's the bookings confirmed. It's very easy to automate. Most of the work you're going to see, it's going to be automated, right? Client retention is quite high. Why? If you're offering this service to your clients, everything what are you going to do? You're going to do it within your system. You're going to provide them as a service with everything. They don't know what's going on. They don't know how you're doing it. What are the steps? Meaning that they don't have that visibility. They're only getting the meetings booked in their calendar. That's it. They don't know the back end work. That's why if client leaves, they just don't know how to do it themselves. So that's why they will make sure that you stay with them for a longer period of time, not just 3 months. Like a Facebook ads, people just going to say, thank you very much, because I already have everything. Why do I need you? In this, they'll need you very specifically because they can't do it themselves, right? Hope this makes sense, right? Steps to make it happen, how do you actually implement it? Find your target market. Look, number one thing is you got to be really super clear on who you want to work with, who is your perfect target market. Then second step is we get the list building done. Number three step is we get every contact personalized, meaning that we want to make sure that we send personalized emails, not just bulk emails. So every email or every contact get personalized. Create a irresistible offer. What is the offer we're going to offer to this target market? Then we do a craft an email copy. We write 4 or 5 emails with the sequence. We make sure that then we automate the entire thing. You don't have to manually send it. We automate the entire thing. So schedule the campaign and make sure that it works, right? And get it done. Um, So I can see how this works for targeting business owner. How about business to consumer? Look, depending which target market we're talking about, Janine, I think if your target market is random, meaning that just anybody and everybody, then it's hard. What works the best if your target market is very specific? Like, doesn't matter consumer, what sort of consumer are they? Are they coaches? Are they consultants? Are they builders? Are they plumbers? There is some sort of market out there, right? Who you want to work with, because within the marketing, you're going to be offering a marketing service to a certain type of industry, right? So it doesn't matter what sort of industry it is. For you, they are very specific type of businesses you want to offer. So that's why it works really well for those businesses. So even if they are plumbers or electricians, they are very specific businesses. So yes, it works in both sides, because as long as you're offering your marketing service to a business people, then it works, right? So, and yeah, hope this makes sense, right? So why this strategy works? Because every lead is a potential client. When you have the list building, every lead is a potential client. You already have the list. They are potential clients, right? So when the lead respond back to you, they actually need work or they need help, because that's why they need it. So you're not sending out random bulk emails to random people, right? So when they respond back to you, that means that they actually need help. They actually need help. So lead is already know you offer, meaning that whenever you send out an email to them, there is an offer attached to that. This is what we want to do, right? So they're already aware of your offer. So it's not a surprise for them when they come on the call and have a conversation with you that, hey, this is what we want to get done. Means that they're already aware of your offer. So now the discussion is, hey, are you the right person, or are you the right fit for us to work together? That's the only thing we're trying to figure out, along with the price. The other one is it's very personalized, meaning that when you speak to people, we send out personalized emails, right? Very specifically personalized email, speaking to people so that they see that and say, hey, this is written for me, not for everybody. This is very specifically written for me. The show up rate is very high because of that, because it's sending a personalized emails. People open up and they see personalized message. That's why it's really, really, really effective in that sense as well, right? So let's look at very quickly the differences. Paid ads is very wide, meaning that you send it to the entire industry and based on the algorithm. Email outreach is very targeted. You send it to very specific people. Ad copy is very generic. We're going to write it at the industry level. Email is very personalized. Paid ads, we got to look at the Facebook and Google algorithm. You got to rely on that. Basically, doesn't matter how hard you work, how good your ad copy is. If Facebook algorithm or Google algorithm doesn't work in your favor, things just not going to work. Email cold outreach, on the other hand, is based on your effort, depending how much effort you can do to send out or schedule emails to different target markets, right? Paid ad cost way too much. You probably know that. It's the starting to email cold outreach is very small. It's about $100, right? Even less. Paid ads, you get leads. My favorite part is the last one. Paid ads, doesn't matter how much you try, you get leads from that. Email cold outreach, you get meetings booked, right? Very specifically meetings booked, right? So time is on your side at the moment. And this is, I'm not just saying it, I'm going to prove it to you. The time is on your side with this strategy. Why? Because if you look at last 30 days, look at the last 30 days, how many times different businesses targeted you on Facebook? How many times, right? Give me a number if you know any number, right? So how many times you got targeted by different businesses every day? Probably a couple of businesses in a day targeting you on Facebook, right? So it's about 30 to 40 average in a month. Everybody is targeting you on Facebook. Everybody is targeting you on Google. They're targeting you very specifically, right? Now, how many times have you received a cold email from anybody in the last 30 days? How many times have you received it? Probably one or two times. Probably one or two times, if any. Like in the last 3 months, I recall I only received one email, right, in the last 3 months. So meaning that not everybody is using this. It is that space where not everybody is doing it, right? That's why it's one of those things where, it's not crowded like Facebook ads, right? So number one step to make it happen, how do you actually do this, is to create a perfect client acquisition strategy for your own business, meaning that implementing the email cold outreach within your business, right? That's the number one steps. Once you do that, number two step is offer this as a service to your clients and charge anywhere between 997 to 4997. Charge it as a service, right? So meaning that your clients also need the similar service, right? So now let's look at an example of if spending $100 and you get two clients. If you spend $1,500, exactly what you were spending on Facebook ads, you get 30 clients. If you are really bad at this, meaning that you haven't spoken to anybody, you haven't converted anybody, you have done a lot of meetings, but you haven't managed to convert, what if you convert only 10 or 15 out of them? So you spend $1,500 and you only convert 10 or 15 out of them. Would it be worth it? Why would it be worth it, right? That's the question. So I think it's something to consider, something to think about, that if doesn't matter what strategy you do, our goal in a business is very specific, that we want to spend less money to acquire more clients. That's just the goal, right? Spend less money to acquire more clients. Once you do that, it's no brainer for you to try this strategy. So what's the next step? I think now the question is, would you like to implement this method in your business? Meaning that in your business first, and also learn how to do it, right? So the main thing is, if the answer is yes, let's have a chat, right? Let's have a chat, because love to have a conversation and see how we can actually help, right? That's the number one thing. So it's really, really, really important to start thinking about it. A lot of people, I've seen it. If their number one skill is a project management, and they're trying to be, the number one skill is a project management, and they're trying to be technical person, it's just really hard, right? So you can't be a technical person and learn technical stuff and then go out and trying to become a marketer as well. So hope this makes sense, right? Hope this makes sense. So I thought I'd give you very quick information on this, but if you got any question, just type in below this video if you're watching the replay. Otherwise, type in the chat. Let's connect and see if we can actually help you implement this strategy. All right, now let me ask you, any questions on this? Any questions on this? All right, if no question, that's it from my side. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your company today, and I'll speak to you guys very soon. See you later.